Boys, we're back. It's episode 26. And guys, we got to jump right into the biggest thing in sports right now. The NBA Finals is over. Wasn't much of a series, but now it's all LeBron. Where LeBron is going to go, where he's going to end up. Everybody's talking about his kids moving into LA. Is that going to be something that we care about? Who knows? So, Westman, I want to start with you. This is a point of contention in the sports world today. Where do you think LeBron is going to go?
Well, you're right. This week and probably the rest of the summer is all about LeBron, and I'm all in on it. Sports are dead right now. We got baseball.
Who cares?
And that's about it. So NHL is dead, NBA is dead, football is coming around. It's been way too long for football. But this is all about LeBron. What I want to talk about is the possible landing spots for LeBron next season. So he's more than likely, I'd bet my life on it, that he is going to opt out of his contract and he's going to become an unrestricted free agent, and he has the pick of the litter in the NBA. So he has the opportunity again to build a super team that can contend with the Warriors. So there are about 7 to 9 teams that are even possible. So let's go through them. The Lakers, Miami, the Rockets, 76ers, the Celtics.
The Cavaliers.
Cavs can keep him. Maybe Toronto. Maybe the Warriors. So we really have no idea at this point where LeBron is going to go. And it all depends on what he values and what his motives are. So in the past, it's been family, it's been rings, it's been location. So let's start off with Alan. What do you think?
In my opinion, it's a no-doubter where he's going. But I'm going to give my top 3 of where he lands. So number 1 is Houston. Here's why. Veteran guards, James Harden, Chris Paul, and a nice area to live. And they are in contention of winning a NBA title. And I think that's what LeBron's looking for the most. Number 2, Philly. This is a tough 2. I could see it happening because he has a great relationship with Ben Simmons, but I don't see LeBron playing with young kids. I don't see him being a mentor. I don't see him fulfilling that role. That's why they're number 2. Number 3, he's going back to Miami, baby. A little unfinished business. He loves Miami. The city is amazing, and wants to go back and play with his best friend. And if I were to give a number 4, it would be LA. And it would be the same reason for the 76ers, because they're young, the balls are there. Yeah. And I don't think LeBron wants that. So, yeah, I think he lands in Houston. Best place for him, has an open spot for him, and they can win the title there.
What do you think about him going to the West?
I see no problem with him going to West. I don't think that's a deciding factor for him at all.
You said he might like the area of Houston. It's a nice area, but what about those Hurricanes?
Too soon.
Too soon.
Too soon.
I'm sorry.
Too soon.
But he also said, like a reporter came out and said that he said, I hate Houston as a city.
That's fake news because I've never seen it.
Yeah, so pretty much the theme of the summer is going to be all these reporters coming out and saying all these claims about LeBron going to such and he said such and such. But it's all going to come down to his decision. It's probably going to be on ESPN again. It's going to be a big deal.
And you know what? Everyone's going to watch it, and all the money he makes is going towards charity.
What a great guy. Father of 3.
I really hope his decision is not on ESPN again, because I really liked LeBron when he was in Cleveland, and then when he went on to decide where he was going, I'm bringing my talents to South Beach. I just did not like that too much. But I have my top 3 for landing spots, and I'm going to start with number 3. And I think that's the Philadelphia 76ers. A lot of what Pop says is true, but I want to look at it from the other side. I want to look at it from the Philadelphia 76ers perspective. I don't think a guy like Ben Simmons would want to play with LeBron James. And I think that's easy. Mac, you seem to have quarrels with that statement.
I want LeBron to go to the 76ers so bad. Mm-hmm. Like, that would be the most perfect fit for him. That man, I'm guessing, only has a maximum of 6 years left in his tank.
Yeah.
And a minimum of about 3 years. Why would he want to go somewhere where he has to be the number 1 guy still in LA where it's going to be Kyle Kuzma, a Brandon Ingram, Alonzo Ball. He's supposed to be a number 1 there. Why not go to the 76ers where he does not have to handle the ball? Ben Simmons handles the ball because he's basically a mini LeBron without a jump shot.
Right.
A Joel Embiid who is a man down low.
Right.
And a JJ Redick who can shoot from the 3 better than almost anyone else he's ever had shooting from 3. So I just think, personally, the 76ers make the most sense. I know it's not a city he wants to go to, but I don't know. I will see what happens. I think he'll end up in LA, but I want him to go to the 76ers.
Yeah.
I really want him there.
I honestly think you could not be more wrong about 76ers being a great fit for LeBron. LeBron is such an on-ball player and takes up so much of the shot clock. He would not fit well in Philadelphia. I get that these are professionals, and people thought that Chris Paul and James Harden would not fit well together. But LeBron is so on-ball, and they have 0 capable shooters besides JJ Redick, who is a free agent, by the way, that can be open in the corner for when LeBron drives the hole and does his jump pass to the corner.
Yeah, but I think LeBron understands that he doesn't have much time left and that he needs someone there that when he starts deteriorating that can handle the ball and that he can just sit there and score 20 a night still without even having to try.
I disagree. I think of all the other already built, quote, super teams, that would be the worst decision for LeBron. TCB, go ahead and finish your...
Yeah. You guys kind of hijacked that from me, but that's okay. No.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's not a problem. So what I was saying was that the 76ers really, in terms of their development, wouldn't really want to have a LeBron figure because Ben Simmons, like Wes was saying, is a ball-dominant guy, and I think in the future he's going to be a big-time player, and taking the ball out of his hands right now in his development stages is just not a smart move.
Be a huge mistake.
Right, I definitely agree. So that's why I think Philly's number 3. Number 2 is LA, and a lot of this, I have to admit, is the rumors circulating about, his family. He's got all this other stuff in LA, and that also they're able to attract another superstar. Maybe he wants to play with Lonzo Ball. Maybe he wants more of that spotlight. Did you guys see that Lonzo Ball is the number 1 trending on Apple Music?
Respect. He's a big baller.
He's a big baller, but his music is bad.
Didn't you listen to his latest song? It was pretty fire. He was
Pretty
fire.
good.
Him, Leangelo.
Jello was
Wow.
better. Jello was better.
Ooh,
hey.
that's debatable. BBB.
TCB, don't you dare say that his music was trash. That stuff was fire, bro.
How dare you
That slaps.
disrespect
It was a
the
bop.
big ballers.
I'm just saying that he should not be number 1 on Apple Music, but whatever. I digress. So the LA would be obviously the attraction of more fame. Does he need any more fame? I don't know. Obviously, and just the LA lifestyle. Pop was kind of saying that with Miami. I think it would be more of a realistic chance for him to go to LA. And then number 1, I gotta echo what Pop was saying here. It's got to be Houston. In my opinion, it's the only realistic landing spot for him besides him staying in Cleveland. The only thing that they need to do is they need to move that Ryan Anderson contract. He's being owed $20.4 million next year. They won't be able to get LeBron if they still have Ryan Anderson. They need to get rid of him. And who wants a guy, an aging shooter that can literally only shoot, being owed $20.4 million? Not very many teams. However, I do think that if they can get it to work out, I think LeBron should go to Houston and will go to Houston, and the Houston Rockets will win the 2019 NBA Finals.
I agree with you. I mean, they should have been there anyway, despite the Chris Paul injury is what held him back in the awful shooting in that series. But it's my turn, and I want to go at this with the idea of what I would do if I were LeBron. Because it's really hard to figure out what LeBron is going to do because we really don't know what his motives are, I think. In the past, it's been about family. I don't know if it's about rings anymore because it's always been chasing MJ. I'm not sure if that's really true anymore. I think he wants the best for his family. He wants to play with his friends. He wants to enjoy basketball and not really have as much of the pressure on anymore. But LeBron, listen up. This is what I would do if I were you. Give up Cleveland. It is over. Cleveland is dead. No more. You have the most power in the NBA than anyone has ever had before. So listen, you have the opportunity to build the best team ever created, better than the Warriors. Looking at the free agent market this year, there's so many players that you could take a team that is at the very bottom of the league and take them to being a title contender just by adding maybe 3 free agents. So what LeBron can do is just pick a landing spot, a place he'd like to live. Go check out some houses if you want. Find a nice place. Find a nice school for your kids. And then decide, hey, call up your bro. Call up Boogie. Call up Chris Paul. Call up Paul George. Say, hey, we're building a team. We're about to go get some rings. So it could be Miami. What the problem with Miami is the Hassan Whiteside contract is just abysmal. Maybe the worst contract in the NBA besides Blake Griffin's. So what I would do if I was LeBron, I'd pick a spot probably in the East. But LA is a viable option. So LA has the cap space to get LeBron and 2 other big free agents with their money and build a team that can compete right away. And in the past, when LeBron has done this, made these decisions, he's struggled to be able to come out right away and be on top. So I think what LeBron should do is very early on, start communicating with guys. Go ahead and take your week vacation or whatever, but then start communicating, build this team, and win rings and topple the MJ lore and legend.
Westman, do you think LeBron, there's been a lot of rumors about LeBron going to Boston. Do you think if he went to Boston, that would be the best team?
I do think it would be the best team, but the problem there still is the Kyrie Irving situation. I don't think Kyrie would be very happy to have LeBron there. I think what they could do is trade LeBron and maybe get Kawhi Leonard or a different guard straight up. So already that would be one of the best teams in the NBA if just by adding LeBron and sending away Kyrie, not even thinking about any other guard. They had guard replacements for a Kyrie. They'd have Gordon Hayward coming back. They'd have the best coach in the league.
Yep.
Also, they'd be in the East. But also think about all the youth on that team. They have a lot of cap space, a lot of small contracts at the moment. So I mean, they could definitely get LeBron and give him the money he deserves.
Yep.
Well, I'll say this, Wesley. There are a lot of conspiracies after Kyrie left. What if Kyrie left because he knew LeBron was going to leave? LeBron told him, hey, Kyrie, I'm leaving after next year. Kyrie demands a trade, and he knows LeBron's going to the Celtics, and they're just going to build another super team to topple the Warriors. LeBron knew he had to just stay in it for 1 year, and he's going to the Celtics, and they somehow keep Kyrie there. That team is dominant. Tatum, if somehow they can keep Hayward, Kyrie, and LeBron, that team topples the Warriors any day.
I agree, and that's a great idea. I do think it's possible that the Kyrie trade had very little to do with the LeBron issues. It probably had a lot to do with the organization just being frustrated with all the decisions made and how Kyrie and LeBron were kind of treated. But that's hard to think, though, because how would Kyrie know that they would be there as a super team?
I mean, it's LeBron. He does what he wants. He has the most power.
This year without LeBron.
That's a good point. He wouldn't know that, but I think he knew he was going there just for the year. And I think I'm throwing out the conspiracy that Kyrie knew this all along, LeBron knew this all along, and they set this up, and LeBron to the Celtics at this point.
Stay woke.
That's a great conspiracy, and let's say that happens. Let's say LeBron goes to Celtics. LeBron, Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, and Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. That's it. And Al Horford. Let's say the Rockets make a trade for Kawhi Leonard. You have James Harden, Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard, Clint Capella, and whoever they put out in that other spot. Do you think that team with Kawhi, I know I'm switching gears from LeBron, but that Rockets team with Kawhi could contend with the Warriors?
I think Houston beats the Warriors, and the Celtics become the greatest team ever assembled over the 2018 and 2017 Warriors. Honestly, you can't. This Warriors team now can't beat the Celtics of like that team, but I mean, a lot would have to happen to make that come together. But I love that conspiracy, and I love throwing out conspiracies with the NBA because
right.
LeBron has a history of making dramatic entrances, exits, and just making everything dramatic with what he does.
Most definitely. The one thing that I need for you guys to stop saying is that the Warriors, like Mac was like, the Celtics are going to beat the Warriors easy, like any day of the week.
No shot.
Right. The reason I'm saying that is because we haven't seen it. The Warriors have won every year, except obviously when the Cleveland Cavs came back to beat them 3-1. You cannot say that automatically the Warriors are going to be beaten by any of these teams. I do think a Kawhi addition to Houston is huge. I think LeBron going to Boston would be huge. However, they wouldn't be able to keep Gordon Hayward. They wouldn't be able to keep all these other guys unless they traded away draft picks, which they've kind of gotten to the end of their asset line because they, kind of paid off with Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and so on. However, I do not think you can just automatically say that a team is going to be better than the Warriors that has already been playing together for so many years and has been that dominant. I just don't see a team that's going to step out there and automatically be better than the best team ever assembled.
Right, so all that being said, my top 3 for landing spots for LeBron would be LA 3, Philadelphia 2, Houston 1.
I like that. TCB, going back to what you said about no team can just form together and beat the Warriors. What about the Houston Rockets? They just formed a team, and they darn near beat the Warriors. If it weren't for Chris Paul's injury, I think we've all said this. The Rockets would have won that series. Right. And that theory you just mentioned, that no team could ever beat the Warriors by just forming a team, would be wrong. We were literally an injury away. So I don't know if that's completely true.
Right, I guess kind of what I'm saying more is like what Wes was saying. Going out and getting LeBron. I'm going to take LeBron. I'm going to take him. I'm going to take Kawhi, Paul George, whatever, and I'm going to form a team. And like I said, the Warriors have not been beaten. Sure, Chris Paul doesn't get hurt, they probably win that series, right? They probably do. But what I'm saying is people are jumping the gun. People are saying, oh, this team's going to be assembled and there's going to be no more Warriors. I want to wait. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe that the Warriors are not the best team in the NBA when I see it because right now, eye test, it's not even close.
There is some merit to that you can't just throw something together and expect to be on top. Just like Miami and just like when LeBron came back, I think there does need to be some infrastructure there, just like how Golden State had their core and how Houston had what they had already before they got Chris Paul. So I'm just saying, LeBron, the world is your oyster. If you want to make a team, you can make a team. I don't know what your motivations are. Honestly, I think the fact that he cares so much about his family and about having fun and playing with his friends is underestimated. So I think we really don't know at this point. We really have no idea. It could be any of the 9 teams. It could be any of the 30 teams, maybe. Probably not the Suns.
What about the Pistons?
Probably not the Pistons.
Okay, not the Pistons. They have way too much money tied up in Blake Griffin. However, it is going to be a phenomenal summer. Not just LeBron James, but all the other free agents, Wes, you were mentioning earlier. It is going to be an insane summer. And fortunately for us, we are joined by a big-time LeBron guy, David DeJulius. David, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So David is a 4-star recruit, ESPN 100. This man averaged 27 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, and 3 steals per game. How did you do that at the high school level in 8-minute quarters? I do not understand it.
Well, part of the reason is I played the whole game. So
right.
I had the most time possible to do it.
Right.
But I had great teammates that were very helpful, and they were great to me, and they let me lead, and they let me play the game I play, and they trusted in me that I'll lead them to success. So all the credit to my coaches and my teammates.
David, sounds like you can ball, man. Michigan's excited to have you.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
So, speaking of high school basketball, what was your favorite moment in your high school basketball career?
My favorite moment was the day I got offered by Coach Belon. It was after we played Dakota. They were the number 1 ranked team in the state. And and Coach Beeline and his wife showed up, and I had 49 points that night.
Sheesh.
They were sitting in front row, and he offered me maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours after the game as I was in Kroger.
That's wild, dude.
And that was relatively early because it seemed like that Michigan offer, once it happened, did you swing around pretty quick and then decide to go to the Maize and Blue?
Yes, I did. They offered me in December of my 11th grade year, and I committed a week later.
Wow.
So it was always Michigan for you. You didn't want to do any shopping around. It was always playing for John Beeline.
Yeah, that was always the plan. I kind of let others, talk to me about it. So I thought about it for a week or so, but I just realized that I was the one that put in the work, and it's something that I really want to do. And I made the decision. I'm happy with myself.
That's awesome, man. One of the games that I saw that I recently watched a little bit of was your game against Clarkston your senior year. Obviously, they have Foster Lawyer over there going to Sparty, and you had quite the game that game, and they were one of the top-ranked teams in the state as well. How was that a game for you this past year?
Oh, that was great. That was probably a second on my high school experience list. But, it was so good. They were the number one ranked team my senior year, and stating that they had 2 Michigan State commits on their team, and just the fan bases between Michigan and Michigan State on Twitter before that game, it was just good just to get that W under my belt.
Yeah, I bet that game was crazy, dude.
Yeah, it was.
Now let's talk about college a little more. Do you believe that your game will translate into John Beeline's system?
Yeah, yes, I do. Because, well, first and foremost, I just want to learn. I just want to grow. And that's what he's known for, growing players and, giving them the tools that they need at that level as well as the level after that. And also just because I can shoot the basketball, and that's something that he's very prideful of. And he's very prideful of guards, being able to come off the pick and roll and make the right read and being able to score as well. So I believe those attributes that I have will translate very easy with Coach Beeline and the Michigan team.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And one thing that I was witnessing while I was watching you recently online was, in my opinion, the similarities between your game and a young Derek Walton's game coming into Michigan. Do you ever see or hear any comparisons between you and Walton?
Yes. I actually get it a lot, especially that we're from the same city, and he's kind of a big brother and a mentor of mine. So, but yeah, I get that comparison a lot, and stating that the good player that he is a blessing just to be compared to him.
Right, most definitely. Did you ever take anything growing up, watching him play at Michigan, and kind of apply it to your game? Anything specifically?
You talking about Derek Walton, right?
What was that?
You talking about Derek Walton?
Yes, sorry, yeah, Derek Walton. Yep.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, his leadership, and just through the ups and downs, the highs and lows, he stayed level-headed, and he remained playing his game. He remained focused. And his senior year, he really took his game to another level. Was very aggressive in his game and very confident in his game. So between the leadership and, like I said, just keeping his head level through all ups and downs, I mean, those are the 2 things that I took from his career at the University of Michigan that I'm going to take going in.
That's really awesome. Kind of going off of that a little bit, looking at your numbers, the points, assists, rebounds, they're all very high numbers coming out of high school. Right. But is there one thing in your game that you believe you do the best, or that you can contribute the most to initially while being at Michigan?
Yes. Well, I believe that assist category and rebounding has to be the main attribute as me translating to Michigan's team, because everyone there can score. So I mean, I'm going to be with other guys that were higher scorers on their high school teams as well. So, I mean, that will be needed, but that's not the most thing that would be needed for me. It would be needed for me to play defense, set the table up, and rebound from the guard level, because that's very important. Because if the guard rebound, you don't have to get an outlet from the big man. He can get the rebound, he can set up the offense, and that's more time that you get to get a basket.
David, so
You have the whole summer, obviously, to get ready for your college season. What's one thing that you'd really like to improve on this summer so you can go in and get the playing time as a freshman and really help the team succeed next year?
Right. I think that is my IQ level. Just adjusting, because I know college level is a different speed and strength. So just adjusting to that, making the right reads, and making the right decisions off the screen and roll, making the right decisions, or knowing where my teammates is conducive to be successful at. So that would be the main attribute. I don't think the scoring aspect would be my problem, or defensively, or anything of that nature. It would just mainly be the reads, getting my teammates involved.
Right, and at least from the social media perspective, what I'm seeing, it looks like you're hitting the gym, both the weight room and the actual gym, really hard this summer. Is that true?
Yes, that is. Just kind of touching base on every aspect that I can.
That's right. And do you have like certain guys that you go to the gym with like every day, or is it more like on your own type thing when you go to the gym?
No, I have different trainers. Like I have a boxing trainer for CrossFit. I have a trainer for like mobility, and then I have two main trainers for my skill development that I had kind of throughout my whole life. So I will have four main trainers that I go to.
Sweet, man. Now talking about like your relationship with the other recruits, like Iggy and
Brandon Johns, guys like that.
Yeah. What's your relationship like with them? Like, how would you explain it?
Right. Well, it's very good because they're such great people, other than players as well. So we kind of gel along, and that's a testament to how Coach Beeline recruits as well, because he recruits great kids coming in to the program. But Brandon is someone that I've been competing against in 7th, 8th grade, so I know him very well. Colin Castleton was one of the later commits, so I kind of grew with him over via phone. Adrian as well. We talk very often just about skill development and things of that nature. And me and Iggy maybe talk the most. Iggy's such a hard-working guy. I mean, he kind of like me, as far as taking his diet serious, taking workout serious, and really trying to improve his game each and every day. So, I mean, I learn things from all of them guys, and we touch base very often.
Yeah, I know a lot of Michigan fans are looking forward to that Iggy David combo. So,
yeah,
that's right. Kind of what you alluded to earlier on was with your John Beeline, that he's really good at working you guys up and making you grow in your 2, 3, 4 years at Michigan.
Right.
Did you use that as kind of like a springboard to say, okay, I'm going to come in here at this level, and then I see a guy like Walton, or like even like a Xavier Simpson last year, he took such a big jump at the point guard spot. Yeah. Do you think that you can do the same thing and maybe then even get to the league at some point?
Yes, most definitely. That makes me happy even thinking about just to seeing the other guys' development, and just to know that he's a very detailed coach. He's a very detailed person. It's tough at times, but through it all, at the end, you just get better. And it could be aggravating, it could be annoying, but he just tries to get the best out of you. And I just can't wait to learn everything that I can from him.
Yeah, that learner's attitude is definitely what you need. That's a great attitude going into college like that. Coaches look into that, and that's definitely something you have, and that's great.
Yeah, that is awesome. I have one thing to kind of go with your development before the college game. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, knowing now what it took to get to where you are today, what would that be?
I would say the AAU. I would say it doesn't really matter who you play for. You don't have to play for a Nike team, or Adidas team, or Under Armour team specifically. Just play somewhere that you're going to get better day in and day out, and coach is going to help you learn and be there for you. So if I could tell myself a younger dad, it would be that to take a different approach to AAU basketball.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff about AAU, especially with the top recruits. Like, it's like a feeding ground. You know, like people are just going absolutely crazy trying to play for these high-end AAU teams, and it's just like, to me, it's just like, take a step back a second. You're still playing basketball, and you can, it really doesn't matter. So I like that. But you guys also are high school kids, so you want to be playing for the best team. You want to be, known for that. I know how that works as well, for sure.
Right. For sure.
So, David, getting off a little bit from basketball, what's one thing you like to do off the court? Some get away from basketball, clear your mind a little bit. Any hobbies you have or anything?
Off the court, I kind of like to. I work out so much that off the court, I like to kind of relax with my family. So, it's really just kind of playing with my brother or hanging with some teammates or something like that. So that would really be my hobby. I'm kind of an outdoor person, so I really like the summertime. So, as far as jet skiing and things in that nature that's outdoor, those would be the main hobbies that I would say I tend to go for.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's always good to get away from basketball a little bit, clear your mind.
For sure.
So with Iggy, when we had Iggy on for his interview, he talked about bringing a national championship to Ann Arbor.
Right.
Is that a major goal on your mind as well?
Oh, for sure, especially after the year that they had this year and the great recruiting class that we have coming in. Michigan basketball have earned their right to set the goal to be national champions, stating that we won back-to-back Big Ten championships. We've been 2 national championship games in the last 5-6 years. So the program has set that standard that could be our goal. And, me, Iggy, and the rest of the guys understand that, and that's our approach from here on out.
Yeah, that's right. You guys lost, a decent amount of action with Muhammad Ali, Mo, and then obviously Duncan Robinson. But with you guys coming in, and then you have obviously Jordan Poole, Mr. Big Shot, Isaiah Livers. You guys got a lot of young talent still on that team that I think can really, really compete well, especially in the Big Ten. Sticking on with the Big Ten a little bit, is there a player, team, anything in the Big Ten that you're most looking forward to play against?
Well, of course it's everyone, but I would have to say Michigan State and Ohio State just because of the rivalry. And, growing up a Michigan fan, just, hearing, debating and arguing with the other two fan bases, I'm just looking forward just to play in a game against them and officially be a part of their rivalry.
Awesome, yeah. So moving away from college basketball a little bit, I'm sure you watched the NBA Finals last week. Are you a big LeBron supporter?
Yes, I am.
Oh, thank God. I love LeBron. So what did you think of the finals, his performance, KD's performance? Just a little recap from your end, being a huge basketball guy.
Right. Well, first and foremost, credit to Warriors. They're a highly skilled team, and you can tell that they work on their game a lot individually and as a team. And just the performance that they had as a team and Kevin Durant individually, just a testament of work. But the playoff run that LeBron had was remarkable, especially after his 15th year and after him playing every single game of the regular season. For him to come out and have such a great playoff run and lead a team that he had to the finals in which they were not the favorite. It was very remarkable. It's just a testament to him and his legacy going forward.
LeBron the GOAT, David? You think LeBron's the GOAT?
As much as I love LeBron, he's top 3 in there with Jordan and Kobe. But I don't think I can give him the stamp of the GOAT. But you can't be mad at someone for saying he's the GOAT because he arguably is.
Right.
And his career, puts him up in that discussion.
David, you said he was top 3. Are you saying Kobe's number 2?
I'm kind of torn on Kobe and LeBron 2 and 3. But I don't know. Some days, because Kobe's probably my favorite player ever. But some days it's Kobe's 2, and some days it's LeBron's 2. But Jordan is number 1 right now. But yeah.
I can see a little bit of that Kobe mentality in your game, especially in a game when you're scoring 49 points or I think it was 41 against Clarkston or however.
Right.
So, I mean, you can turn it on with Kobe. And one thing that I do have that people forget about Kobe when they talk about the Michael and LeBron debate. People just like, Kobe didn't even happen,
Right.
It's a sin. It's a sin for that. So LeBron James, if he's your favorite player right now, where do you think he should end up?
To be honest, the thing for him to be, chasing the GOAT level is he got to win a couple more championships. So he got to go somewhere where he's going to win with some players, whether that's join. He would have to join the Houston Rockets or the Boston Celtics or have a couple stars come to Cleveland. But I know Cleveland not really an attractive city to stars, so I would guess he would have to go, and I would say either Houston, the Celtics, or the Lakers, one of those three teams.
I would love to see him on the Celtics. I just don't think he's going to play with Kyrie. I just do not see it happening.
Yeah, but I mean, LeBron's so good. I think they would actually trade Kyrie for maybe Anthony Davis or something.
Oh my goodness!
If they don't think that conflict will happen, if they think it will be some conflict between the two, I think they'll go in favor of LeBron.
Yeah, I agree. You kind of have to do whatever you can do to get the best player in the world on your team.
Right. Right.
One thing, in Ann Arbor next year, so you guys move in on, or at least Iggy told us he moved in on the 23rd. Is that for you as well?
Yep, 23rd, 10 more days.
So what's coming up? Are you excited? Are you getting ready?
Yes, I am. It's a little of a hassle, getting everything ready with the technology aspect that's needed to get ready for that and the move in and things of that nature. But yeah, I'm excited to just get there and move on.
Yeah. So are you, right when you get there, are you able to do like drills and stuff with the team, or how does that work out?
Yep. As soon as you get on, you're officially a part of the team. So yeah, 23rd, we'll be able to do everything that everyone's able to do.
That's awesome, because it seems like that team is made up of some really good basketball players, but also some really good dudes.
Yes, yeah, they are. Like I said before, that's how Coach Beeline, he recruits, and he's not just saying that. Like he said it before, that he's just not trying to amass talent. He's trying to, find great individuals that are also great basketball players, because that's the platform and that's the biography of what Michigan stands for. So he's just trying to recruit University of Michigan-like kids.
I agree. And another thing that Michigan is known for is their academics. So what are you majoring in? Right.
As of now, business and finance.
Okay.
And maybe minor in kinesiology or something of that sort. So that's the direction I'm heading in now.
Love that, David. School comes first, always.
Yeah.
Hey, we would not have been disappointed, though, if you would have said majoring in basketball, because I know that's what a lot of people do, high-level recruits like yourself. Unfortunately, I cannot be doing that. I actually have to go. But I can play intramural hoops, so you see me at on the intramural grind. For sure. Okay, one more thing before we have you go. So we were talking earlier about Foster Lawyer and Michigan State. What is your relationship like with him? And is it kind of more of a competitive relationship? Because I know, obviously, you were a Mr. Basketball finalist. Right. He won the award. But, what's your relationship like with him? You guys are both top-ranked recruits from Michigan.
Right. Well, actually, me and Foster, first and foremost, it's a competitive relationship. Every time we play against each other, we're trying to take each other's head off. But, we played on the same AU team, the family. We were in 7th grade. So we've been knowing each other back since then. And we have a respect for one another as people and also as basketball players, and the success that we both had on the court. So, a respectful, competitive relationship is the stamp that I would give us.
That's awesome, man. Well, like I've been saying this whole time, just thank you so much for joining us. I know it kind of took a little while for us to kind of work our schedules together, but we really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. David DeJulius on the Prattle. Thank you so much for coming on, and I think Pop has something to say real quick.
Thanks, Julius, David, for coming on. We got high expectations for you. We're looking forward to watching you ball out. And me, I'm a Sparty guy, but today I'm a David guy. I'll be supporting you. All right?
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
no-
wish the best for you guys' podcast, and thank you for having me on.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much.
Yeah, go Blue.
Go Blue.
All right, go Blue.
Yep. Have a great night.
All right, you as well.
Thank you.
Again, thank you, David, for a phenomenal interview. It was great having you on. We look forward to having you on again during your college career. You were phenomenal. We're here at the Prattle. We're Team David. Can we all agree with that?
If I have to pick, I'm Team Iggy.
Oh,
Don't
Come
do
on.
my mans like that. We're team Iggy and David. Anyone we have on here, we're team.
You don't get it. They're on the same team.
Yeah, but we're still. You can't do my mans like that and just put him down and pick
Hey,
his
okay, I'm
friend.
I'm sorry, David.
chill,
I'm sorry.
chill.
Yeah,
chill.
come on, man.
Again, David, thank you. You were awesome. We are all for you, and look forward to talking to you again. But now we're going to switch gears, talk a little MLB, the dying sport.
Yeah, there have been some huge injuries this week. Talking to MLB, it's the dog days. It's kind of hard to talk about the races, though they are starting to heat up. The pennant races and especially some of the NL divisions are heating up. However, one of the big injuries that just happened about 5 days ago, Shohei Ohtani went down. The man might need Tommy John surgery. The Angels are holding out hope he might return this year, but Ohtani's been one of the most electrifying players in the MLB. My favorite player to watch in the MLB this year. The man can hit and pitch. You do not see that in the MLB. So this might be incredibly detrimental for the Angels.
Yeah, it's really just saddening for the sport. I think he was really becoming one of the faces of baseball and really just heating up fandom for the game. And I think this is really just going to be a hard-hitting thing for baseball. And he was one of a kind type player, and he's going to be missed.
As tough as it is to see him go down, let's be honest, Mike Trout's the best player on that team, and he's the face of that franchise. And with him being there, I don't see them will be taking that big of a hit because Ohtani's a rookie, correct? And
Well, yeah, and he'll be back with the medical advancements that we've had. I mean, Tommy John is kind of a routine surgery,
Right.
and a lot of people
Yep.
have it, so it's not really too much to be worried about.
yeah, young in his career, I think he'll be just fine.
If he happens to have Tommy John surgery, though, the doctors do believe he'd be out for the rest of this season and 2019.
That's worth it, in my opinion.
It is worth it. Sure, it is worth it maybe, but I think that's more than just a routine surgery.
Right.
Having to be out for a year and a half.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. Well, let's talk about another very unfortunate injury,
Yeah.
Miguel Cabrera.
Oh, man. Maggie, I mean, if the Tigers hadn't had enough detriments this season with Michael Fulmer going down, now Miggy is out for the year. Is Miguel Cabrera's career, as we know it, over? The man is 35 years old. He's getting paid a boatload. Nobody wants him, but he is still a productive player when healthy. Wes, what do you think? Can he come back from an injury like this, a ruptured bicep?
Well, yeah, the ruptured bicep is kind of a very big deal, especially for the sport of baseball. That's a very important area because it's involved definitely in hitting. He's a power hitter. And, I mean, using that upper body and you flail your arms a lot. It's really an important part of your body. I'm no doctor, but I'm just saying, you kind of need your arm.
Right. Most definitely. You definitely do need your arm. And I do have a couple pros for the Tigers with the fact that Miguel Cabrera is out, and that is the fact that they played 500 baseball without him. And the Tigers were supposed to be one of, if not the worst teams in baseball this year, and they're still able to overperform like crazy without him because he was injured earlier in the season. So that is great. And also, Cabby will have the entire offseason to recover. So I do think he'll be back. I just don't think he's going to be that guy that bats .330, hits 40 home runs like he used to be, a Triple Crown candidate. He will never be like that again.
Right. Now, if I'm Miggy, I'd consider backing it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe consider hanging it up.
Maybe that DH come off first base.
That's possible. I mean, he's a hitter. He's been a hitter his whole career. And if I'm a baseball player and I'm getting up in age, I'd like to back it down a little bit. Maybe just hit.
Right, exactly. And if I'm the Tigers, I think you got to move on. I think you got to start I think they're starting to do it, but they can't because Cabrera's contract is so massive. They need to start moving on from Miguel Cabrera. That was a great team that they had with them, and it's a shame that they did not win a World Series because they should have. They should have won at least one or two with the pitching staff they had, the hitting staff, or the hitting core that they had, led by Miguel Cabrera. So too bad they didn't win a World Series, but it happened. It's over. You got to move on from them.
Speaking of moving on for the Tigers, let's talk about their number one pick. He really did not perform very well in their super regional.
He did not.
Florida.
No, he did not. 6 earned runs. Casey Mize playing against Florida. I think this man is the real deal. Everybody has an off night, even in the college ranks. They're hitting with a metal bat, for goodness sake.
Florida's the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Let's give this man a break. Come on.
Well, I mean, we can talk about they're the number 1 in the country, but he's maybe this season going to be pitching against MLB starters.
Right. If I were the Tigers, I hope that they would not bring him up this season just because this season is over and they should not be striving for this year.
Is over.
So seeing him next year would be great, but this man, they could not have gotten a better pick, in my opinion. He has 4 pitches that are all plus pitches, like great pitches. The best pitch in the draft, according to many experts, with his splitter. So, yes, Casey Mize got rocked in his last outing, but he had something like 120 strikeouts and 11 walks all year. And numbers like that is why he's the number 1 pick. And it's also why the Tigers have a bright future ahead of them, along with guys like Candelario, guys like this, Nico Goodrum. They have a really good young core, and I'm excited to watch the Tigers play in the future.
I don't know if you guys caught that last game of the Super Regional, Florida versus Auburn, but I did. What an electric game. Florida stole home to tie it up 2-2, and then they walked off later with a home run that should have been caught in the 10th. It hit his glove and then went over the fence. Just unreal, very exciting. And I'm proud to say that I have still not watched an MLB game, and I have watched a college game.
Okay.
Also, shout out to my Tar Heels for making the College World Series.
Hey, have you watched the Tar Heels one pitch yet?
Yes.
Okay. So you just said baseball and exciting. I never thought that you, Westman, would use exciting and baseball in the same sentence.
Well, let's talk about the difference between college ball and the MLB.
Metal bat.
Metal bats.
That's big.
Metal bats.
Yeah, that might be
Just saying, MLB. Just saying. Think about it.
The pitcher would die.
It might be worth it to save the sport.
A couple pitchers die.
Pitchers. Yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah, that would be rough. Speaking of injuries in the sports world, I think we're going to transition a little bit into the NFL. And huge news this week, or is it? I don't really know. Andrew Luck threw a high school size football to Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne then went on Twitter and just said, "Oh, how sharp the passes were! Tight spirals.
Had a little power behind it.
Had some power behind it. Oh my gosh!
Reggie Wayne, who's been out of the league for a while.
Gosh! Right. So, do you think this is a big deal that Reggie Wayne said that Andrew Luck is looking good, and the fact that even Andrew Luck is passing at all?
First, why is he throwing a high school size football? Specifically a high school size football.
He's working his way up. He started with the Nerf ball.
Okay.
And then went back down to an air ball.
Is it one of those Nerf balls with the little flag at the end of it? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, he started with that one, but then he went to the one that whizzes.
Yes. It just doesn't make sense. This whole Andrew Luck thing has been a mess. And I'm not a Colts fan. I know we had Kyle on an earlier episode. Shout out Kyle on earlier episode. He's a big Colts fan. And it just doesn't make sense to me. Why is this man not on the field? He seems healthy. It's like to me, it honestly seems like he's holding out on the Colts. He's saying, I'm not playing. He hasn't came up verbally saying, I'm not playing, but his actions are showing it. This is his holdout. I think the Colts organization isn't good. Yes, they're trying to make moves, but it's not happening. They haven't put anyone around Andrew Luck. And maybe... this definitely is his holdout. I'm confirming it. This is his holdout. Breaking news. This is his holdout. It doesn't make sense why he's
So you think he's fully capable?
I think he's 100% capable. He could have played last season.
I don't think so. Okay.
At least maybe the last half of the season.
You called it a mess, and that's exactly what this is. This has been a mess for about 18 months already, and he's not even worked his way back to throwing a real football.
That's 2 pregnancies.
2 pregnancies. He could have, if we're talking quintuplets, he could have 10 babies by now in the time of his injury. depending on fertility. I'm not sure. But this has been 18 months, and when we have a frame of reference. Cam Newton had a very similar surgery to what Andrew Luck had, and he came back. He didn't really have that great of a season, but it's a similar surgery. It's his shoulder. With the medicine that we have, he should be able to repair that shoulder and be back within a year.
Right, I definitely agree. And I think, Pop, you're kind of right. And I think the reason why is the Colts organization as a whole is bad. And second, the product they put on the field is bad. If the Colts were to be in playoff contention last year, I think you see Andrew Luck suiting up in the number 12. But the fact that they were so bad, what's the point in injuring yourself? Give yourself an offseason. Now, if he doesn't play week 1 this year, then something's wrong.
Something's up.
Something is up. But the fact that he didn't play last year is understandable due to the product that they placed on the field, in my opinion.
Well, why would he want to go out there and get absolutely pummeled?
What a
week after
horrible
week?
offensive line they have.
Terrible. Just awful. And no receiving either.
Right.
Just awful. So I'm a firm believer, and I have been since the very beginning, that Andrew Luck is just absolutely garbage, and he's never going to play it down a football for the Colts ever again.
Oh my goodness, Wes, man.
It's just, no, like 18 months. He should be on the field already, back throwing passes full time.
I completely agree, but calling him trash?
He's trash for making this the way it is.
I think without Andrew Luck, the Colts are god-awful.
I agree.
He's been their savior. He's been everything that they needed, but they have not treated him fairly.
I've thrown as many NFL passes as Andrew Luck has in the past year. Think about that. That makes him trash.
Well, then
He hasn't played. He should be playing, and he hasn't played.
Because, like how you just said, his team is so bad. Why would you had the surgery?
Think about this.
Why would you jump in it?
It could be a mental block for him. He subconsciously he thinks. Now I'm not a doctor and I'm not a psychiatrist either. Subconsciously, he might believe that his arm isn't ready. He's not ready. He can't go back and be the same Andrew Luck he used to be, the same guy that could throw 4 interceptions every week. So it's just tough, and I really, really hurt for the Colts. Just kidding, I don't. But he should be back on the field as soon as possible. But stay woke. His dad, commissioner of the XFL, maybe he's holding out to go play up there.
Ooh.
Wow. I'd pay to see that.
It'd be a step up for him.
The NFL to the XFL,
Yes.
big step up.
Either that, or he can go be an engineer with his Stanford degree.
Okay, Wes, one thing. Andrew Luck, is he a top 5 quarterback when fully healthy?
No, I don't think so.
Top 10 quarterback?
Top
He's
10,
got to
yeah.
be.
He's maybe 9th or 10th.
I think Matthew Stafford's a better quarterback than Andrew Luck when healthy.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. All right, fine.
Change my mind, Toby. How?
The only first of all, Matthew Stafford has not been injured literally in the past 10 years. And I think consistency to get on the football field, to get up from the Lions have a bad offensive line as well. And it is improving, but while they were horrible, he was getting knocked down more than any other quarterback in the league and getting back up. At the beginning of his career, he was very injury prone. But the man puts up numbers comparable to Andrew Luck. Sure, they're not winning, but their team is bad. They're in the process, like I said. But I do think that when they're both healthy, I would take, it's close, but I think they're maybe 10-11, 9-10 in the NFL.
You just talk about consistency. That is not what Matthew Stafford is. Yes, he puts up these insane numbers, but all the Lions offense has is him to throw the ball. Yes, he's putting up 300, 400 yards a game, but he's completing about 40 to 30% of his passes. That is not consistent. Fact check me on that.
that is wow. That is just wrong. But it's not Matthew Stafford's fault that we don't have a run game. That would be the running backs and our general managers. Though we did just draft Kerryon Johnson, big draft pick. But yeah, you're right. I cannot argue with you that Andrew Luck, when healthy, he is a lot more mobile. Let's just say than Matthew Stafford. But I think they're comparable in terms of production wise.
That's fair. Final hot take on this subject. Tony Romo would be more likely to come back than Andrew Luck.
Wow.
I actually like that because I love Tony Romo and I miss him every day.
Not the greatest announcer.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, that's another.
Oh, yeah,
Last topic.
okay.
We got to move on.
Hey.
We're moving on to the best part of the show
Right.
and the best ep yet.
That's right.
It is segments time.
That's right. It is segments time, and we are doing Big 3, baby. And guys, listen. It's Father's Day this weekend, so what we decided was we got to do the Big 3, and we're calling it of Dad-isms. Wes, explain what a Dad-ism is.
Well, a dad-ism is anything you associate with fathers and the stereotype of being a dad. So what you think about is usually your dad being a stupid goofball that wears weird clothing
Right.
and saying dumb stuff.
He does. A dad does stuff. A dad wears stuff. That's a Dad-ism.
It's a dad-ism.
Right.
And I think once you have your first child, or maybe in the process of having your first child, you become part of this dad
It's a culture.
stereotype. It is a culture.
Right.
And it's universal throughout the country.
It definitely is. And so we're going to do a Big 3. It's a snake draft. I struggle with snake drafts, but it's going to be okay. We're going to get through it. And I think, Westman, we're going to have you start. We're going to go Westman, Primetime Mac, TCB, and then Pop on a snake draft. Sound good?
Whew, this is tough. This is going to be a hard pick, but I'm going number one, and I'm going to take, for dad-ism number one, is the tan ball cap that every dad wears. You know what you can picture it in your head. They always wear it. Very curved bill, kind of sweaty, kind of dirty. Has maybe a college logo on top, but you know what I'm talking about. That's a very good dad-ism.
It's the kind of hat that they wear every time they go outside to cut the lawn or
yes.
grill some burgers.
Yes.
Wes, I think I've seen you with that hat on.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of the dad-isms. I aspire to be a father.
Fair.
I hope one day your dream can come true, Westman. Mac, you got pick 2 of the Big 3. What are you taking dad-ism-wise?
So for pick 2 for dad-isms, I'm going to have to go with dad jokes.
Oh.
I'm a big believer in dad jokes. I'm going to give a little example for you
Can't
boys
wait.
tonight. So, Alan,
Yes.
did you hear about the restaurant on the moon?
No.
Great food, no atmosphere.
I bet it was out of this world.
Ooh, that one might be even better than that joke. Wow.
Hey, I've got another dad joke, and it's kind of on sports topic.
Quick.
Why can't LeBron stand on his tiptoes?
Why
Because
is
he
that?
doesn't have any calves to support him.
Oh, wow. That wasn't even a dad joke. What the heck?
Yeah, that's a dad joke. That
was a horror.
Are dad and bad jokes synonymous?
They rhyme, so yes.
Okay.
Wes,
Wesley, are you a dad?
yeah. Wesley
You're
confirmed
going
dad.
off right now.
I cannot confirm or deny that I'm already a father.
Are you pulling a Drake on us and hiding your kid? Oh no. Oh no.
Okay. All right. TCB have the 3rd pick in the Dad-ism draft, and this is easy for me. I've already started this culture, but it's grilling, man. Anything that you want to grill. Give me a chicken, give me steak, give me corn, give me anything on the grill. I think that is a major thing dads need to be able to do. So with my first pick, I'm going with grilling.
That's a great pick, and I think the most exotic a dad can get is maybe pineapple.
Ooh, little
on the
kebab
grill.
action.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. It is my turn, and my pick I'm taking watching NASCAR on a Sunday afternoon while taking a nap.
That's a fantastic pick, and that sport is interchangeable with golf as well.
Yeah, you walk upstairs, you walk downstairs, however it works in your house, and you see your dad cashed out on the couch. And what's on the TV? NASCAR or
Cars
golf.
turning left.
Yep. And I think that's perfect. That sums up dads perfectly. Since it's a snake draft, I get to go again. Number 5, 5th pick. I am taking vasectomies.
Is it not kind of productive?
Was I?
So that has to be after they become a father.
Yes. I hope you enjoy that one.
Okay. So, with the 5th pick, we had vasectomies by Pop.
Hey, that's a steal. No one thought of it.
Nobody did think of it, and for good reason, I believe, because Right, you cannot be a dad, so it is going to be a post. Okay, all right. Okay, so I am going with 6th overall pick, and it is my second pick, and I'm going to be specific on this one. I agree. It's mowing the grass, okay? But I believe that a true dad needs to almost artistically mow the grass.
It's all about the lines. Got to keep them straight.
Right.
Maybe go diagonal.
If you go diagonal, then you better be doing it right because you can make it ended up looking horribly. However, I am going with artistically mowing the grass for my second pick.
Are you more of a dad if you use a push mower?
Or a rider? Definitely a push mower. Is more of a dad.
Okay, my dad is an unreal lawnmower guy. He mows with his shirt off, and he goes in on the lawn.
I would say riding is more dad mode because that is if you're a dad, you're investing into your grass, and in order to do that, you're putting money into better equipment, and that is a riding lawnmower.
Disagree. I think a good dad has to sweat to have a nice lawn. Not enough work goes into a riding mower.
Blood, sweat, and tears, baby.
Fair enough.
All right, so now it's my turn. And I'm going to go with my second pick. And you're at a restaurant. Yeah?
Yeah.
And the bill comes. And you have a 4-year-old son.
Okay.
And the waitress says to you, who would be paying for the bill today? And your dad points at the 4-year-old son. And the dad goes, he'll be paying for it today. And he chuckles to himself. And his wife looks at him like, what the heck is wrong with you? And so my second pick would be pointing at your young son to pay the bill after you've been out to eat.
Oddly specific.
Very specific, but still a great pick because who else does that other than a dad?
Mac, are you okay? Did that happen to you?
That happened more than once, and one time I actually did pay the bill.
That is so... Who hurt you, man? Come on.
My dad hurt me, and...
Hey. Chill.
Well, he hurt me, but then he loved me more.
Okay.
And forever I'll love him back.
Oh.
But, yeah, come on. Your dad never did that to you?
No. Shout out dads, though.
Shout out dads.
My dad did that to me, but Mac, this is a podcast studio, not a psychiatrist
Okay,
couch.
come on. My dad did pay back for that. So.
Okay, I have 2 picks in a row now because this is a snake draft. And I think this is easy. I'm going to go with the white Nike or New Balance shoes. Tennis shoes. You know what I'm talking about. It's the ones that stand out. The Air Pegasus or the super duper white gym tennis shoes. The ones that they mow the grass. And they have about 4 or 5 pairs.
That's a steal of a pick, Wes.
I can't believe it dropped that low.
Wow.
Then I get another pick. And this one is also easy. It's a dad-ism that your dad has at one point been your coach.
Ooh.
Whether it's t-ball, football, basketball, you name it. Mowing the lawn, he can coach you at that too. He's going to be your coach at some point.
My dad never did that. Does my dad love me?
Embrace the
I'm
dad.
just kidding, Dad.
He does. He taught you to do things. That's coaching. The man coached you up.
Fair enough. Yep.
All right, Mac, your third and final pick, please.
So dads tend to do this a lot. So you'll be complaining about something, and your dad will be like, well, back in my day.
Oh, the back in my day.
Back in my day, we had it way harder than you did. No phones, no internet. We couldn't look stuff up. So with my third pick, I'm going to have to go with back in my day.
Wow.
Because there was nothing greater than a dad's day.
Right. And you know that in one day, it'll be back in our day. And I cannot wait for me to be able to tell my son how great it was or how horrible it was back in my
It's
day.
usually how horrible
Right,
it was.
you're right.
But it wasn't that bad.
No way.
But he just makes it up to be that bad.
You're
but
right. You're definitely right.
Yeah, it's back in my day.
I can't wait until we have to say back in my day we had a real basketball player named LeBron, not some chump like whoever's coming next.
That is so true.
There will be a better LeBron in our lifetime. And I can't wait to see it.
Okay, that's a different debate. Let's keep moving.
Okay, I have my third and final pick, and this one's easy for me. Maybe it's specific to my dad, but dads have to get their competitive nature out in some way, and I'm going with rec league sports for dads. Listen, my dad played every single rec league sport under the sun. When you're a retired high school athlete, you got to be getting involved in rec league sports, specifically slow pitch softball. We always talk about slow pitch softball. I see a bunch of dads playing rec league sports. I'm going with my third and final pick, rec league sports for my Dad-ism.
Great pick, TCB. My last pick, this last pick was very tough for me. I was either going to go Tube Socks, but I was like, that's kind of basic. So my last pick, my last Dad-ism is the quote, "Go ask your mom."
That's a great quote. That is fantastic.
Whenever you want something, you always go to your mom first, actually. And it's like, go ask your dad. Then you go to your dad, go ask your mom. And then that goes back and forth, back and forth, back
But
and
then
forth.
you say to Dad, I already asked her, and then he's shook. He has no response. That was a great big three, guys. A couple snubs. How about waving to neighbors and strangers?
I already do that, so.
I'm a big wave guy.
I'm a bigger waver guy.
No, I'm the best waver there is, Wes.
I wave to everyone.
Okay, fine.
I would just like to bring up one more snub. I don't know if your guys' dads do this, but I've seen a lot of dads and my dad cleaning a car obsessively.
Big.
Like cleaning the outside, cleaning the dashboard especially, but just cleaning a car in general.
What about a dad chair?
Oh,
Every dad has his chair.
Every dad has to have a chair.
A little lazy boy action. I could see it. Yep.
All right, a lot of great picks there. Happy Father's Day to you, PPs. Maybe you're a father. Maybe you don't know.
Sheesh.
Maybe I don't know. But PPs, this has been a great ep. Best ep yet. Thank you again, David DeJulius, for the interview. This has been episode 26. Peace out.
Peace out.
Adios.